Hello everyone, hope everybody's doing great today. Appreciate those who watch this video. I hope you enjoy it. And today we're talking about Detour. This came out in 1946. And my feelings about this movie are kind of mixed, to be honest. Very mixed. But one thing is for sure, I hate when Amazon Prime puts on old movies and then they have like the colorized version of the movie when it's supposed to be in black and white. And I'm pretty sure this is supposed to be in black and white, because if it's supposed to be in colored, it's supposed to be, it was very bad. You can kind of see in some of the scenes that the black and white is fighting the color, like the movie's trying to say, I want to be in black and white, and Amazon Prime is like, no, you will be in color, or whoever did the colorization of this movie. But you know, if you've seen this movie, and has it always been colored, because the coloring of the movie looks very bad and it should just went to black and white. But enough about that. Let's get to the Detour. Like I said, my thoughts about Detour is kind of mixed. I like the attempt, at least the attempt I believe they were trying to go for. I liked it, but I don't really like the execution. So for reveal those who've never seen Detour, it's about a man who's going cross country to reunite with his girlfriend who left from New York to California to be a big movie star. And they were working together in New York at a club. He was the piano player, she was the singer. So he goes there. On his way there, he has no money, so he's hitchhiking his whole way there. Meets a guy who gives him a ride. During this ride, the guy who's giving the ride dies, and he opens the door to see what's going on with the guy, because he thinks he might be asleep. The guy falls out and bumps his head, so it looks like he's afraid that people don't think he actually killed the guy. So he's kind of running away from the cops a little bit, because he hides the body instead of just calling the police. And then he meets another woman, and he accidentally kills her because she's in another room on a telephone. Back in the day, kids, telephones have cords. And so she's got the door closed, and he's pulling on the cord because she's starting to call the cops on him. And as she's pulling the cord, it chokes her, and she dies. And so it's an accident. So he's trying to cover up two murders, or two people dying they didn't really was blamed for, I guess. But it's all through his point of view. And this is where I don't really like the movie. It's like a lot of it is just him staring out in space and just thinking. Like a lot of it is this 90% of this movie, I feel like, was this inner dialogues. Just him looking to the camera was like a face, like a thoughtful face, and just thinking about, you know, stuff that's happening to him and why is this happening. And so you're gonna ask so I guess the question that the writers, at least that's where I think they're going with this, is how reliable is the narrator? How reliable is the main character in this movie? Is he really telling us the truth? Because it feels like you're the juror and he's on trial, and he's trying to explain his case that he didn't really kill these people, that it's all was an accident. Like he didn't, like the guy died while he was driving, while it was his turn to drive, and he died while he was driving, and when he opened the door, the guy fell out and hit his head on a rock. And then he wants us to believe that while she was in the other room making a phone call, and he was just pulling on the phone cord, and it wrapped around her neck and it choked her to death, and he didn't know that that's what happened. You know, he wants us to believe this. He keeps on he asks this question like 3 or 4 times, like, who would believe me that this is what really happened? Who would believe me that he fell out of his car and hit his head? Who would believe me that she was in the other room and I pulled that cord? Like, who would believe that story? So it's up to you. Like, do you think he's really telling the truth? Are we really hearing the truth from our main character here? Is he lying to us? Did he really kill these people? Because the guy who gave him a hitchhike was actually had like a lot of money on him, and then the girl was like the guy's wife, and she was, or ex-wife or something. She was in some kind of relationship with the guy who gave him the ride, and he killed her while she was going to try to call the cops on him. And that whole relationship between her and him, talking about the main character, it was kind of rocky too. Like they were working together, not working together. You know, she kind of was blackmailing him to do stuff for her. And so did he just kill her to keep her quiet? So, you know, it's like, how reliable is this main character? That's how I kind of got watching this movie. That's kind of how I felt like the writer was trying to portray is, you know, this guy's on trial. We're the jury. We're supposed to come up with a verdict. Did he actually do it? Did he not do it? Do we believe his story? Do we not believe his story? And the ending is kind of open ending. Like he doesn't really, I mean, he gets into a cop car at the end, but you know, it's like his imagination kind of thing. Like he's saying, you know, someday I'm just gonna be walking down the road and I'm gonna be getting into the ride with the cops. You know, the cops are gonna take me away. You know, and stuff like that. So you don't really know if it's really happening or it's just him, just you know, saying this is what could happen into the future. You know, that might just catch me and pull me over. Stuff. So as a juror, you know, as an audience, do we believe this guy's story or do we think he actually murdered his people? You know, it's kind of like open ending and then like he's trying to explain his case and it starts off like that. He's like in a cafe and he's always grumpy through this movie. Seems like a very grumpy guy with anger issues as well. So, you know, you can lean either way. You could be the guy, you could be the person watching this and believe his whole story, or you can be like me and say, that's kind of far-fetched, you know. I'll probably would say guilty, you know, myself, but you might say he's not guilty, you know. So if you've seen Detour, what do you think of the movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? I'm going to recommend this one. Like I said, I'm kind of on a mixed bag. I didn't really like all the inner dialogue. There's like a lot of inner dialogue in this movie, and there's not a lot of action. Like you could just lay back and have your eyes closed and watch this movie, and then be like you're listening to one of those audiobooks. That's how this movie kind of feels like, because there's not really much going on the screen. You know, there's not very much emotions being portrayed on there. Like all the emotions you could feel, you could hear with their voice. Like if they're angry, you hear their voice. You know, there's no like side glances or anything like that. But I'm gonna recommend this one. Let me know below if you've seen this one. Did you think he was guilty, not guilty? What was your thoughts about this? Hope everybody had a great day. Check out another video, hopefully. And adios. Bye.